afternoon, the single whip and the hook hand. The single whip, an iconic movement in Tai Chi Chuan in all styles. Hook hand, very popular, not unique to Tai Chi Chuan, I will explain, but the way we use it is very, very particular. Now, first of all, I would like to discuss the principle of unity, which was the #1 principle that was put forth constantly by my teacher. He put a lot of emphasis on this, moving as a unit, as one piece. So here, the two arms expand together. He always practiced like that. This is a basic way, and it's beautifully efficient, comfortable inside, very pleasant to play. Practice and play. Now, there are variants of this. Here's one. You see here the applications. This arm, this side of the body is used for certain applications. Now the hook hand is, we have different parts here. Let me explain. So this is the beak, like the beak of a bird, which is not used in Tai Chi, but is used in other martial arts to attack the vital points of the body. Okay? Like a bird. Very effective, dangerous. The back of the hand, this is very, very solid. This we use. Okay? This can generate a lot of force over a short distance. Much faster than making a fist. So we have some applications with this. Here, as we turn, here's a strike with the back of the hand, though one can also use the elbow here, of course. All parts of the body can be used to fudging. It breaks a little bit the principle of unity because you're doing one action followed by another, but there is nevertheless a flow between them. Now the other hand, this one here, is used not like this, not like that, but between the two. If you just relax the wrist, you'll find a place where it's comfortable and you can sit the wrist. Sitting the wrist is important in this school of Tai Chi Yang style. Okay, we sit the wrist. Like this, very important this. Sit the wrist, relax the elbow. Okay, and the strike is going to happen with the heel of the palm, usually. There can be a variance. I studied with my first professional Tai Chi teacher, was a lady in Rome, Italy, and she was very much into combat Tai Chi and really into the applications, even though she was at that time in her 60s. In one class, a gentleman who was rather tall asked the teacher, who was rather small, if she could show an application for the single whip. She said, yes, of course, with great pleasure. So she then reached forward and grabbed the man by the throat, which was quite spectacular. Like this, and then with the back arm. Now look, the two arms here in single whip can be applied in the similar way as one uses the arm, back arm in fencing, which is to conduct energy to the front here. Okay, so this lady, what she did was she placed her hand, she was gentle but firm. she placed her hand on his throat and turned the body this way and walked forward, half steps, right into the wall on the other side of the studio. The studio was big, and he was like this, going backwards. It was rather spectacular, let's call it that. So that's an application. I'm not sure if it can be applied, but well, she did it there. Anyway, that was in the context of the studio, but nevertheless, the idea of applications is that you have them as reserves, you know, like a loaded weapon, so they can come out when you need them. And occasionally, they will fit the occasion and work. You know, my teacher always used to say 5 or 6 moves is all you need. He's right. Anyway, so the principle of unity, the hook hand. Now, this hand is also pluck in the 8 jings. Pang Nu Ji An, Soi, Li, Jiao, and Gao. The hook hand, Soi, Chinese, Soi. My teacher used to pronounce it like that. That hand is a plucking hand. In this particular way, we're going to use it as a neutralizing Hua Jing, to neutralize with the plucking hand. So there's a force coming towards me. I make contact and I just add 4 ounces, a small amount of energy, and guide it into the void, into nothingness, to the outside of my body. If it passes just on the outside a little bit, that's fine. In Tai Chi we have an expression, off by an inch, missed by a mile. If it's right close by but it doesn't touch you, it's harmless. So this is a plucking hand. We guide along the line of force, we just add something to the line of force, but just conduct it a little bit to the outside. Okay, this is the neutralizing force of the hook hand. Now that's the hook hand variants that I can share with you today. I'd like to conclude on one thing, and that is a passive element to this particular figure of the hook hand, this particular posture of the hands. By the way, obviously this is very good for the health of the fingers and the hands. You make the hook hand like this. And here we have 2 variants. We have the long fingers, which is used usually for plucking, and then we also have the cosmic egg, chi in here, which is striking, usually to strike with the back of the hand. So these are variants that we can use. But I just wanted to add that when the fingers are together, in my experience, and also with several students I've discussed this with, this is has a calming effect. Calming. Maybe that's why when people sit in meditation and yoga and so on, they put fingers like this and it calms it down. I don't know, I'm not into that discipline, but perhaps that's where they join. Tai Chi and yoga, there's some similarity there. Now also, I did some experiments with a student of mine that we practiced walking in winter independently, separately, and then we met and gave our results. One winter we walked like that with the fingers like this to see if there would be a change in the body temperature, and indeed there was. It seems that this conducts, helps to circulate maybe the blood and the chi, but certainly the body was warming up from just walking around like this. Outside in the cold, very cold. Warms up the body. So those are some other tips for you that you can perhaps try for yourselves. Why not? So I will leave you this. Good practice. See you soon. Take care.